Taking time for your local news week in review. Little Falls Radio earlier this week learned the names of the 7 candidates who filed for the vacant Ward 2 seat on the Little Falls City Council. The 7 candidates include Robert Buckingham, Don Klinker, Joseph Check, Teresa Scorseth, Gerald Knopfler, James Kleinschmidt, and Gerald Newman. Greg Zilka, who was serving on this seat but was elected mayor this past November, the council declared the seat vacant and allowed residents who lived in the ward to file for consideration. The deadline was noon on Tuesday. The Little Falls City Council has scheduled a special meeting at 6 p.m. on Monday to interview the 7 candidates. The council will likely choose one in the near future to serve the remaining 2 years on the seat before it is up for election again in 2016. After 2 delays, one for a dismissed juror who was replaced by an alternate hours later, and another by the defense who asked for a continuance on an issue with a witness for the prosecution. The opening statements in the Brian Fitch Sr. case began late this week in St. Cloud. Fitch is the man accused of killing Officer Scott Patrick during a traffic stop. The 62nd annual Morrison County Dairy Princess Contest has been set for Saturday, March 28th at the Falls Ballroom. A candidate must be a high school graduate by July 1st and not yet 24 years of age. The candidate or her parents or legal guardian must be actively engaged in the production of milk for sales to a licensed plant during the current year. A candidate also qualifies if she or her parents or legal guardian are employed on a dairy farm in a dairy-related capacity. The newly crowned Morrison County Dairy Princesses will go to a training seminar which will be held May 15th through the 17th at St. Cloud State University. They will also have the chance to compete for the 12 spots to advance to the Princess K of the Milky Way competition in August. At all levels of competition, contestants are judged on their communication skills, personality, enthusiasm for the dairy promotion, and general knowledge of the dairy industry. Applications are due by March 2nd. For more information or an application, contact Laura Fellbaum at 630-4039. A Cass County judge ruled Wednesday that there will be no new trial in a stray voltage case that impacted a Pine River dairy farm. Lawyers for Crowing Power sought a new trial after the utility was ordered to pay Randy and Peggy Norman $6.3 million in economic and nuisance damages. The lawyers cited irregularities in the court proceedings for having a new trial, which the judge denied. The Normans claimed to have experienced mysterious health issues with their dairy herds for 20 years, and after privately conducting an investigation on the farm, got confirmed tests of stray voltage surging through their property. That evidence proved to be a major reason that the judge ruled in favor of the Normans at trial in October. The power company's lawyers say they will continue to work the appeal process in the case, possibly asking to get a higher court to review. Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers from the St. Cloud-based Detachment 1 Charlie Company, 171st Aviation Regiment Air Ambulance, have a departure ceremony today in St. Cloud. The Charlie Company is in preparation for a 1-year deployment to Camp Brewing, Kuwait, in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. They will train for 6 weeks at Fort Hood, Texas, prior to their deployment to Kuwait. In Kuwait, the soldiers will conduct medical evacuation operations in support of U.S. Army Central Command. They will support units from New Mexico, Ohio, and Mississippi under the 185th Theater Aviation Brigade. The ceremony is at 1 p.m. at the Army Aviation Support Facility. Longtime Baxter Mayor Darrell Olson resigned Tuesday after he was told to leave office or lose retirement benefits based on a little-known law. The announcement came at the end of a Baxter Council meeting where Olson said he was forced to resign by the Public Employees Retirement Association of Minnesota, who cited a statute that requires a 30-day separation between his para job and his elected position. Olson said the financial risk into the statute was too big of a risk, and a roller coaster effect on his benefits for the months ahead was enough for him to decide to resign from his office. The Baxter Council regretfully accepted his resignation effective that night. The council said before another mayor is looked for, they want to review all the statutes from para on the matter and would not elaborate if after the 30-day separation period is completed, if Olson would want to be put back on the council. For right now, Baxter is working without a mayor. Firefighters from Swanville, Grey Eagle, and Flensburg battled a barn fire Sunday night for 6 hours. The fire in a turkey barn on Coney Road 104 near Swanville destroyed most of the barn and killed all the turkeys inside. No one was injured. The building and its occupants are owned by Jenny O. The cause of the fire is unknown. An estimation of around 17,000 turkeys were lost in the fire, and damage to the building was extensive. Morrison County Sheriff Sean Larson would like to notify the public of a Level 3 sex offender moving into the county. Level 3 sex offender Matthew Berry will be moving to a residence off of Roush Road East in Agram Township near Piers. A community notification meeting will be held at the Morrison County Government Center in Meeting Room 1 on Wednesday, January 28th, starting at 5 p.m. The meeting will be hosted by the Minnesota Department of Corrections and the Morrison County Sheriff's Office. This offender is not wanted by the police and has served the sentence imposed on him by the court. This notification is not intended to increase fear in the community. Sheriff Larson believes that an informed public is a safer public. Catholic Schools Week begins this weekend and runs through next week. This year, the theme is Catholic Schools, Communities of Faith, Knowledge, and Service. To start off the week, Holy Trinity School will hold an open house event Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. with indoor and outdoor activities, refreshments, and a chance for families and community members to visit Holy Trinity in Piers. Each day during the school week will be filled with events both in Piers and at Mary of Lourdes Schools in Little Falls. Join AM 960 KLTF Party Line live at Holy Trinity at 10 a.m. on Wednesday and Mary of Lourdes Middle School on Thursday starting at 10 a.m. to commemorate Catholic Schools Week. Listen to the program on KLTF and online at fallsradio.com. News, weather, and sports information online at fallsradio.com. That wraps up your local News Week in Review here on AM 960 KLTF. This is Assistant News Director Scott Colomb saying, thanks for listening.